You ever open an HOA invoice and feel your blood pressure spike like you just got hit with a parking ticket from the universe? That was me, standing in my kitchen on a humid Tuesday morning, staring at a line item that read, Landscape Enhancement Fee $7,800. For bushes that looked exactly the same as they did last month. Our HOA, Sycamore Estates, prided itself on curated curb appeal. Translation: if your grass was too tall or your mulch wasn't the correct shade of rust autumn, you'd get a warning letter. But now they'd apparently hired a new landscaping contractor and billed every homeowner for mandatory beautification. When I walked outside, I saw two workers in neon vests trimming a hedge that didn't even belong to me. I asked who they worked for, and one of them pointed to the logo on his shirt, Green Line Outdoor Design. That name hit me like a shovel to the chest. Green Line was my ex-boyfriend Jason's company. The same Jason who had once told me landscaping was too much effort for too little payoff. The same Jason who ghosted me 3 years ago after borrowing money for equipment. Now he was apparently landscaping my neighborhood. That night, I pulled up the HOA's expense report, which was conveniently buried behind 3 password-protected folders. Each line was more ridiculous than the last. Mulch delivery for $3,000, shrub trimming for $2,400, decorative stone installation for $5,500. And every payment went to Green Line. The kicker? The stones weren't even installed yet. So I did what any normal, mildly furious woman would do. I emailed the HOA president, Claudia Renner, and asked for a copy of the vendor contract. Her response came back within 10 minutes, colder than an iced latte in January. All landscaping decisions were approved unanimously by the board. Homeowners are not permitted to interfere with vendor operations. That's when I knew something was rotten in Sycamore Estates, and it wasn't just the overpriced begonias. The next morning, I spotted Jason himself pulling up in his green truck, wearing sunglasses and that smug half-smile that used to melt me and now just made my teeth grind. He was inspecting the median strip like a man surveying his kingdom. I waited until he was alone, then walked straight over. "Jason," I said flatly. He turned, pretending to be surprised. "Lydia, wow, small world, you live here?" "I've lived here for 6 years," I said. "So tell me, when did you start charging $1,000 per bush?" His smirk faltered. "What do you mean?" "I mean these invoices. The HOA's paying you like you're planting gold-plated ferns." Jason rubbed the back of his neck, trying to keep it casual. "Hey, it's not just bushes. There's transport fees, soil upgrades, environmental compliance." "Cut the fertilizer," I said. "You're robbing people, Jason." He laughed, that same disarming chuckle he used whenever he was caught lying. "Come on, Lydia, the HOA approved it. I just provide the service." That line, "the HOA approved it," stuck in my head like a splinter. He wasn't hiding it, because he didn't need to. Someone on the board had let this happen. That night, I went full detective mode. I pulled every HOA email bulletin from the past 6 months, every contract notice, every board vote record, and right there, buried in the April meeting minutes, was a motion labeled Item 5B, Emergency Landscaping Contract Approval, proposed by Claudia Renner, seconded by Jason Cross. Wait, Jason Cross? Jason's middle name was Cross, his legal name, Jason Cross Harper. He had signed as if he were a board member. But he wasn't. He wasn't even a resident. I took screenshots of everything. Then I started asking questions around the neighborhood. Turns out no one else had attended that April meeting because it had been rescheduled last minute. By the weekend, I had a theory. Claudia and Jason were running a side deal. He inflated prices, she approved the invoices, and they split the profits behind closed doors. The final straw came on Sunday afternoon when I caught Jason dumping bags of mulch behind the HOA office, the same bags we were billed $2,000 for. The tag still said discount clearance. I snapped photos. This was going to get ugly, but I was done playing nice. The next HOA meeting was standing room only. Word had spread that fees were skyrocketing again, and homeowners were ready to riot. I sat near the front, my phone loaded with evidence, waiting for my moment. Claudia took her usual seat at the head of the table, wearing a mauve blazer that probably cost as much as my water bill. "Let's bring this meeting to order," she said, tapping her gavel like she was in Congress. A man from Lot 12 raised his hand immediately. "Why did our dues go up 18% this month? And what's with the landscaping charges?" Claudia gave her practice smile. "The Green Line contract ensures long-term property value stability. It's a premium investment in our community's future." That's when I stood up. "A premium investment?" I said. "Jason Harper is your vendor, isn't he? The same Jason who signed an HOA contract under the fake name Jason Cross?" The room went silent. Claudia blinked. "Excuse me?" I stepped forward, holding up my phone. "I've got screenshots of the April meeting minutes. You approved the contract with him. He's not a board member. He's my ex-boyfriend, and he's charging this neighborhood $1,000 per bush." Someone in the back laughed nervously. Another muttered, $1,000? Claudia's tone hardened. "Ms. Myers, this is not the time." "Oh, it's the time," I snapped, "because I also have photos of him dumping mulch labeled discount clearance behind your office, the same mulch you billed us for at premium rates." The room erupted. Neighbors stood up, shouting questions. Claudia tried to gavel the noise down, but someone yelled, "Is this even legal?" Another shouted, "You're both scamming us." Jason, who'd been standing near the door pretending to check his clipboard, suddenly bolted for the exit. Someone shouted, "There he goes!" and two residents actually followed him into the parking lot. Claudia's face was red as a sunset. "This is a misunderstanding," she sputtered. "Then explain the invoices," I said calmly. "Explain why every payment from the HOA account routes through your husband's LLC before it reaches Green Line." Her mouth opened, then closed again, because she knew I was right. That's when the HOA treasurer, a quiet accountant named Bill Dawson, stood up. "I've seen those transactions too," he said. "I thought they were authorized." "Authorized by whom?" I asked. Bill looked down. "By Claudia." The meeting devolved into chaos. Homeowners demanded audits. Someone called for Claudia's resignation. And before the night ended, the HOA voted for an emergency financial review committee and suspended all payments to Green Line pending investigation. I walked out into the humid night air feeling equal parts furious and vindicated. Jason's truck was gone, but not for long. The audit took 3 weeks. During that time, rumors spread like wildfire. People whispered about kickbacks, fake invoices, even missing HOA funds. The only thing louder than the gossip was the sound of Jason's reputation crashing down. The final report hit like a thunderclap. Green Line Outdoor Design had overbilled the HOA by nearly $48,000. Of that, $22,000 had been redirected to a shell company registered to Claudia's husband. The paper trail was undeniable. The HOA board voted to remove Claudia, effective immediately. The state licensing board got involved next. Jason's business license was suspended for fraud, and he was ordered to repay the overcharged amount or face criminal charges. When local news picked up the story, suburban HOA president and landscaper caught in kickback scandal, I couldn't help but smile. The headline didn't even need my name. The truth spoke for itself. A week later, I found a note taped to my mailbox. It was from Jason. "Didn't mean for it to get this bad. Claudia said it was all approved. Hope you're happy." I folded it once and tossed it in the trash. Because yeah, I was happy. Not because he got caught, but because the neighborhood finally woke up. For years, people had just paid whatever invoice came their way. Now every homeowner demanded transparency. We even elected a new board made up entirely of residents who'd been burned by Claudia's nonsense. As for the landscaping, we hired a small local crew run by a retired firefighter and his daughter. Their prices were fair, their work was honest, and no one charged us $1,000 for a bush ever again. Sometimes justice doesn't come with sirens or handcuffs. Sometimes it comes in the form of a canceled contract and a clean yard. And me? I learned that revenge doesn't always need to be loud, it just needs to be thorough.